Meet Dave of Delusions of Grandeur, actor, producer, and director of films like Tales of the Forgotten. He has come to assemble a team of freaks, geeks, and even worse, film nerds, to discuss films ranging from mainstream to downright crazy. There is Tammy, car enthusiast, and Dave's fiance, Dustin, reptile expert and overall horror collector, Jake, environmentalist and fine art film critic, and finally Brandon, a therapist with a love of film that can only be seen as insanity. Together under Dave's leadership, they are inside movies galore. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. To heal.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another exciting film journey here on Inside Movies Galore. I am one of your hosts, but today we are starting a new month, a new theme, and I think Tammy knows what that theme is all about. And knows exactly what movies she subjected us to this week. So, Tammy, what was the theme that you picked for this month?
When Machines Go Rogue.
And what was the movie that you subjected us to this week?
Maximum Overdrive, which basically is every machine you could think of going rogue.
Okay. And who directed it?
So it totally fits the theme. What now?
And who directed it?
Stephen King.
And as far as I know, it is the only film that Stephen King ever directed, but it's not the only thing that he ever wrote.
Wasn't he involved in Rose Red?
Yes, he was involved, yes.
I'm not directing, no.
His hired gun, Mick Garris, directed that.
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, Rose Red's a weird one, much like Storm of the Century, where he actually went straight to the screenplay instead of adapting a book, which was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and he had a ghostwriter write the novel for it too, as well as having a secondary movie that has to do with it as well.
Yep.
Having the Diary of Ellen Brimbauer and having a book for that as well. You know.
Oh, they worked hard on that one. That one, they did all the frilling for it. They did the extras there. They sold the diary to make it sound like it was more legit. It was a cool event. I loved it. That was a great time back then. Though copious amounts of cocaine obviously went into this one.
Obviously.
Well, and Stephen King actually admits to it in several interviews, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he basically said he barely remembers making.
But to be fair and honest, at the time, they really roasted him for this film.
Yeah,
they scared him shitless from ever directing another movie.
yeah.
I didn't realize he was involved in the drugs. I mean, to me, he just didn't seem like, with the imagination that he's got and everything else. It's like, why would you cloud it with something like that? To me.
Hey, at least it's not like Johnny Depp in The Brave, where he got so PO'd that people didn't love his art piece that he just took it off and away to try to hide it. Never directed again.
Yeah.
Well, no matter what, So, this film, as far as I know, has become kind of a cult hit. And to be fair and honest, it's not as bad as people make it out to be. To be fair and honest, at least in my mind, I don't care what other people think. If it doesn't sound, if it didn't play like the original short film, who the fuck cares? It was a good movie.
You leading us up on impressions then?
I'm not sure when I first actually watched this movie. I know I watched it sometime in the past, and to be fair and honest, it's like my third favorite Stephen King movie.
Huh.
The Stand is ultimately my favorite. The Tommy Knockers is right behind it. This one's next, and then there's Storm of the Century.
So this would basically be your favorite movie as opposed to a series, miniseries?
I would have to say this one's up there on the favorites of his movie-made adaptations. Let's just put it that way. Partially because it was directed by Stephen King while he was all coked out, and it still became a cult hit. It may not have made people love it at the time. It did not make the box office.
Yeah.
And it pissed off a lot of people at the time. But I have a love for this movie because it did, in fact, do what it needed to do, you know. And plus, you got you know, Charlie Sheen's older brother, way before he was became the Mighty Ducks coach. So, so there is that. I mean, and honestly, I didn't realize that he was a Sheen. I always heard his last name, and I thought, hey, he's a Spanish dude. But now that Wikipedia, whenever you bring his name up, he's the older brother of Charlie Sheen. I'm like, okay, now I see it.
Well, I had never really looked into that. I always knew about the family relationships, but I never really looked into the origins of their names. Like, I guess Martin Sheen's birth name is Estevez, and Charlie adopted his father's stage name, but Emilio decided to just go all natural. So they are the Estevez brothers, technically.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah.
But each of them carved their own way
Right.
into their own acting capability. Like Emilio became part of that Brat Pack.
Yeah.
With like the St. Elmo's Fire and the Breakfast Club and films of that nature, you know. Whereas Charlie Sheen kind of, you know, did his own thing with Platoon, and it's like I don't know. I feel like Emilio Estevez did the ghetto movies, whereas Charlie Sheen seemed to be more like the preppy boy.
Sure.
The clean cut, and the although Hot Shots, I liked
I wouldn't
Emilio
call.
Estevez is great in Hot Shots.
Well,
great
he
in Hot
is.
Shots and Hot Shots Part 2s.
And
He
Loaded
is, but
Weapon.
I have to say, their movie careers maybe, but if you talk about their persona, reputations, Charlie is not one you would call clean cut. If
Well,
anything,
no,
Emilio's-
not later on in his life. No, he's definitely not clean cut now. Now that he's been known for his nose candy.
Yeah.
But their father definitely cut a good garb as the president of the United States in West Wing.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, I mean, I enjoy this movie for what it is. It definitely didn't. It definitely started out rough in movie history, and it it was more scary at the time because of that demon truck.
The Green Goblin.
The Green Goblin, yes, the Green Goblin before the Green Goblin was on screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was enjoyable for its time, and I get a kick out of the very beginning where we get Stephen King's cameo and whatnot, and it's corny in all the right places to me. Oh, and young Carlo Espinosa, before he was the mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all, once upon a time. And I think he's been on many different shows.
He plays the mirror in that?
Yeah, he plays the mirror dude.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he plays the face behind the mirror in there. So it's kind of cool. But in any case, but yeah, Tammy, when did you first see this movie?
Oh, geez, I have no idea. I've seen it many and many a times, but I don't remember when I saw it the first time. I mean,
Could it have been with your dad?
it could have very well been with my dad because we thought a lot alike as far as this type of movies, And he, if I had to see something and he thought it was cool, he'd always be, "Did you see this one? Did you see this one?" Because back in the day we had our every other weekend visit starting when I was like 12 years old. So yeah, we had definitely had times to kick back and watch movies together. So, but the thing I always remember about this movie is the Goblin, the Green Goblin. It's like anytime somebody brings up this movie, that's the first thing I think of that truck. Now, I could have picked Christine for this theme, but we've already done Christine. Number 2, Christine is my very favorite Stephen King movie. And number 3,
I said Christine on this channel.
Well, if you did it, it was like way before either of us joined.
Right.
I thought we did it on this one.
I've never seen it.
Not on this channel. We did it on our other channel.
Yep. Makes sense.
The number 3, because of the theme I picked, Christine is, yes, it's basically a vehicle gone. It's a vehicle that went rogue. With the theme that I picked with the, machines that go rogue, this one just fits better because it's lots of different things, lots of different machines. So I thought this was like the totally perfect one for what I was thinking. So that's why I picked this one. So.
And I don't think anyone read off the IMDb description, did they? Because it pretty much sums that up. A group of people try to survive when machines start to come alive and become homicidal.
Johnny Five is alive. Actually, that would be one that would fit this as well.
Which one?
Short Circuit.
Oh, but Short Circuit is cute. It's not mean.
Now that's one that doesn't hold up these days. Still
Yeah, but
like
Short-
the movie, but it doesn't hold up because of the well.
But Short Circuit isn't. No. They would not fit for this. This was not my idea. It was not what I pictured when I said when machines go rogue.
Well, it did go. They did go rogue. Johnny Five is alive.
Yeah, but Johnny Five was cool and cute.
If he hadn't gone rogue, he would have been killing people for the military.
Anyways, how about you, Brandon? First impressions.
Now, this is not my first time watching it. Believe it or not, my first experience with the source material was the TV remake of it called Trucks.
Which I have that one too.
I found it, like I had found Trucks when I was just going through and just movie hunting at a Goodwill, and I was like, this. So, and it was like a screener copy. And I was like, oh, okay, even cooler. Okay. And then I watched it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. There's a scene in Trucks where a little Tonka truck kills a dude. It kills a post officer. Which actually, I think Jake and I watched it together, Trucks.
I don't even remember that one.
I don't remember it.
But I do think I did watch it with you because I think we both thought that was hilarious, that whole like toy truck killing.
If so, I have no memory of anything else in that.
Now, I watched this one a few years ago, first time, believe it or not. It was actually not that long ago. I remember getting a copy of this when Vestron or one of the companies, one of the boutique companies released it. Because I had watched Killdozer for the first time also not long ago, which is another movie in that same vein. Said I really need to watch this one. I like Emilio Estevez. And I said, you know what? I'll do that. It sounds like fun. Dave said, like, people call this a bad film. I don't see this as a bad film. I agree and disagree. I don't think that there is such a thing as a bad film, except for Disaster Movie. That's a bad film.
It's a disaster.
But in truth, even Disaster Movie really isn't a bad film because there's at least one person in the world that thinks Disaster Movie is the greatest film of all time.
That's a crazy person.
I'd like to find him.
I'm sure that they exist, and I'm not sure I want to know. But I mean, shoot, we have the Wanses talking about how Haunted House 2 is high art. So, some people, But this one is that so bad it's good type film. You've got to suspend your disbelief because it doesn't make sense. The rules of the world don't make sense. And that's fine. You just got to kind of let it kind of roll with it. And when you do, you can have fun with the whole thing. This would be a fun one to watch high or stoned or drunk. I've never done that for this particular film, but I do think that it's fun and it is iconic. I mean, that Green Goblin mask itself is very iconic.
Every time a machine attacks, you take a shot.
I mean, I think that Green Goblin thing on the truck has just as much history outside of the film as inside of it, because for many years that Green Goblin went missing, but then some dude actually found it and restored it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but and by the way, that toy company has a horrible marketing design because unless they're trying to market to adults, because that type of marketing would scare children away.
Well, yeah, that Green Goblin at the night, it's on a toy truck, and it's like, really, you
Yes.
think kids would want toys with that around?
Well,
Shoot,
yeah.
the logo on the back of the car is creepy.
Mhm.
But yeah, to me, it's a fun film. It's a lot of fun. There are parts of it that are a little bit slow pacing wise, but not quite as slow as Trucks was. So while I had watched Trucks a decade or so ago for the first time, this one, I'll admit, I am somewhat new to it. I'm probably one of the newest to it in this group. But yeah, it's not my first time. It's like my fourth around that. But yeah, fun film. And yes, Stephen King definitely was high off his ass when he did this. You could tell that.
Okay. What about you, Jake? Was this a first time watch for you?
Yes, it was. I'm definitely the newest person at this particular one. Obviously, I've seen the image of the truck. It's become famous, if not infamous. I know. And the movie has a reputation. So I definitely knew of it. Had no idea who was involved other than Stephen King. I never really looked that far into it. And it turned out to be extremely interesting to me, the timing of this, because the first movie I watched this year, technically the tail end of The Princess Bride, because we had to pause it right at the end. But other than that, the first movie I saw this year was the Three Musketeers from the early 90s, the one that starred or co-starred Charlie Sheen. Really, it starred Tim Curry. That is Tim Curry's movie, but
that's my favorite Three Musketeers movie. Actually,
it's a good one. But then
Oliver Platt.
then I watched this one, and I'm like, I never would have expected I was starting this year off with the Estevez brothers. That was weird. But then it goes a little further than that, because there's a guy in here who's we already mentioned that Giancarlo Esposito is in this. He's played the what do they call him, the video gamer or something like that.
Yep.
He's not even a named character. And it so happens that the day we were video player, the day I watched this, let's just say I was in a bit of a mood this weekend, and there was only one thing to watch. And so yesterday I put on the animated Harley Quinn series.
Oh.
And Lex Luthor is played by Giancarlo Esposito. So I ended up watching two of his items in one day without planning at all. So that was kind of fun. But you got other people in here too. Frankie Faison is in here. Pat Hingle, who, of course, I have always known as Commissioner Gordon from the Tim Burton Batmans. You got Yeardley Smith, the voice of Lisa Simpson, is in here. You got an interesting assortment of actors. And I was intrigued. And, of course, it starts with Stephen King's cameo. And it's actually a fairly amusing cameo. I differ with Brandon. There is such a thing as a bad movie. But there are bad movies that are just painful. And there are bad movies that are fun. And this is a bad movie that's fun. Is it the best or most fun movie that Stephen King has been involved with? No, it's not. But in terms of just being silly, good fun, yeah, I like. And the basic premise, the idea that is put forward, that's essentially, and again, people, y'all know the drill. There's going to be spoilers. But the basic idea that aliens are sweeping up the problematic elements of Earth before coming in. I'm like, okay, that I could see that. I could definitely, and I can't fully blame them for it. I can't fully disagree with them. The two characters who are the biggest shits both get punished. So, as well as the one who was annoying me with how insane they were going. So I have no complaints there. The truck is kind of iconic in its own way. And I had no idea the music was by AC/DC, and I do like that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
And I think they did a fair job of it.
Well, we have a lot to discuss when we get to music.
Oh yeah. Apparently, Stephen King got them to sign on by doing an impromptu karaoke session. Which I think is kind of hilarious. But anyway, yeah, it was definitely an interesting way to start the year. And I'm glad I finally saw it. Is it high art? No. Is it even art? That's somewhat debatable. But is it fun? Yeah, it is. And I kind of wish Stephen King would go ahead and try another movie one of these days. He has said it would be interesting to do one when he's sober. So maybe, but yeah.
Unfortunately, they ostracized him at the time. So
Yeah.
I feel like he was scared shitless by how much they basically went after him on how bad about how bad he was behind the helm of this movie.
There are much worse directors that have been given much more reign.
Yeah. I think he probably the comments about doing one when he's sober probably are more recent. I wouldn't be surprised if, because this was 40 years ago. Damn. Yeah, this movie's 40 years old this year.
Is it?
Yeah. But
Okay, so I feel old.
he's had time to reconsider. But like I said, I doubt it's a priority for him. But I also doubt that he cares as much as he did when the first movie came out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
damn, I was only 13 years old when the thing came out.
Shit, I was like 4. But yeah, that's a sobering thought for you. This movie is now almost 40 years old.
I was 2, maybe.
Let's see here. When it officially came out July 13th on the internet? That can't be right.
I was 1 year old when this movie came out.
Yeah. So this says it came out in the US on July 25th. So we're about 6 months away from that.
In 1985?
86.
86.
Oh well, so yeah, this movie will be middle-aged.
Right.
So I was 14.
Yeah, 86.
I was 2.
In July, I was 7. Probably still old enough to watch this okay. It might have scared me. I was scared of a lot of things as a little kid.
One more funny thing, and then I'll be. I was reading, I was reading on the background or whatever, and so we have our young married couple, Connie and Kurt, and Connie, of course, is Yardley Smith. Kurt is John Short. He doesn't have a huge number of acting credits in movies and television, but he's got a few here and there, including an appearance on The West Wing, which mentioned a few minutes ago. But apparently he's been very active as a stage actor, and he is an acting teacher. So I just find it kind of hilarious that people rag on this movie in part for the acting and everything. It's like, and one of them became a teacher of the craft.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of great.
Speaking of the wife, wasn't Yergly Smith? Wasn't she a voice of one of the Simpsons
She's
actors?
Lisa Simpson, as I said.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. She doesn't sound a lot like Lisa here, but she's also putting on a thick country accent, so
She is annoying.
she is a little bit annoying, yeah. Yeah.
Lisa was annoying on The Simpsons at times, so.
Yeah. I think most characters on that show have been annoying at one point or another. It happens after a few hundred episodes. But, yeah. But I'll admit, that character, Connie, and then there was the waitress, Wanda June, who's played by Ellen McElduff.
Oh, she was a little bit annoying.
They
Oh
were
my God.
pretty
We
annoying.
made you. We made you.
She was going nuts by the end. She was flipping out. But yeah,
I know. Her constantly screaming, we made you.
By that end, it's like, well, if you want them to, if they really want to throw themselves into death's arms that badly, let them go. They'll enjoy it.
Some of them didn't deserve it.
right.
Like the guy that got the diesel in his face, and then he was just going off to look for his boy.
I'm sorry, he looked down the hose.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was really stupid. And he seemed like a decent guy, and you feel bad because you know he's got a kid out there. But that when he was looking down the tube, I was like, "The fuck's wrong with you, you moron?"
Kim pointed that out, like, what the hell is wrong with him? Why do you do that?
Right.
Yeah, Kim has a much more of a history with this film than I do. But she has more of a history with horror films in general. So she was telling me a lot of her experiences. With luck, maybe she'll come on tonight and
Hopefully
give us
she'll
a
join
few.
us a bit.
She's always fun when she comes on.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we can. Oh, did you finish with your impressions? I'm sorry, Jake.
Yeah.
As we were talking about Stephen King's masterwork here.
So I guess
Well-
we should get into it.
Yes.
So basically, what started all this was a comet, the tail of a comet, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And something about what was in the tail of this comet is what triggered all these machines, or what triggered them. Any machine. And like
Yeah.
we talked about before, Stephen King's cameo, which is a lot of fun at the beginning. Hey, he's telling his wife, "Well, this thing called me an asshole."
Yeah. I think the first thing we see happen is it shows a street shot of a bank, and you see the ticker that I think is like usually like the time or whatever across the bank, and then it just changes to read "fuck you," and I'm like, huh.
And then it starts typing over the screen when he comes to the ATM machine, saying "fuck you, you're an asshole."
Right. Yeah, which is kind of nice that it doesn't start off with the machines going all murdery. They kind of start off with silly pranks.
Yeah, except
But,
for the next prank is not so silly when the
Right.
drawbridge goes up.
Oh yeah.
That was quite a scene with all these, because nobody had any idea it was going to go up, so they're just traveling like usual, and once it starts going up, but all these vehicles that start coming and coming. Did you notice the one van's AC/DC on it?
Yeah.
Didn't know if anybody caught that.
I think. Yeah, I definitely caught that. I read that AC/DC was offered a chance to be in the movie, and they're like, "Well, we're not actors,"
But it was the perfect song to start out with too.
Yeah.
By them.
Yeah.
and because once that song played, and then you got that, further on, and that lady keeps yelling, we made you," and it's like, that's why it was perfect to start off with that song.
Which song?
Who made who?
Which was the original one for the movie, right?
Well, that's what started the movie off. Yeah,
No,
ACDC
I
does.
think they did one original for the movie. I think that was it.
I don't know. That's one of the more popular ones.
Hmm.
It's one of my favorites.
Well, they had my favorite, but not till much later.
I
Yeah.
think there was like one song or whatever in this that just didn't sound that familiar to me, but the rest of them did.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we have that scene though of everything, everybody and everything just tumbling down that and
Mm-hmm.
crashing because of that bridge going up like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and then that's when we first start seeing that something's going on here. And I think then we go to the baseball field, isn't it?
It's one of the early ones, yeah.
Yeah. At first it's funny when the guy goes to get the soda, and it flies out and hits him right in his. So the first time he gets hit and it hits him there, and then he gets another one there. It's kind of funny, and then all of a sudden it's like, then they really start shooting out, and I was like, okay, this isn't funny anymore.
Yeah. Not so much. The kids start freaking out too.
Yeah. But let's see what else is going on. Let's see, right? There's so many little things before it like totally commences at that diner, at the truck stop.
Mhm.
You see so many things going, machines going wrong, all over the place.
Mhm.
We got that soda machine, and I think there was a lawnmower,
Mm-hmm.
and and then at the baseball field, that steamroller that just went right over that poor kid.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yes, it's things all over, bonkers machines. Let's see, when do we get to them? Not quite yet. So we at the diner truck stop. I believe the first thing that goes haywire is that the attendant is filling up the truck that's got the Green Goblin on it, and all of a sudden the gas machine stops working, and of course, bright idea. Let's look down the hose.
Yeah.
No offense, my dear, but that would be something you would do. But anyways, and so while they're taking care of him because he gets the gas in his eyes, that's when Emilio Estevez's character is having it out with the boss man, because the boss man is being a real jerk off, because evidently he's
Parole.
on parole, yeah. So
Yeah.
he's basically, I'm in control type of thing, and you're gonna do what I say, or I'm gonna send you back, and or I'm
He
gonna,
wants him to work an hour more than he's actually claiming.
right.
Yeah.
And basically is telling him, well, tough shit,
Yeah.
I got you by the balls,
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that guy
So
is.
Yeah.
Huh?
He was an ass.
Oh, yeah.
And a Bible salesman, which actually, you
Well,
know.
that's later. The Bible salesman was
Oh, yeah,
there.
sorry. I was thinking of him. Yeah.
So like the next thing we see that goes bonkers is the poor well, she ends up being annoying, but she's trying to take care of the grill that Emilio's character does because he's
Mhm.
having it out with the boss, and then an electric knife goes crazy.
Oh, good God.
Cuts her up. Yeah.
I know, and then they come out and he takes a hammer and like totally destroys the thing to get it to
And
stop.
And
it's still running.
And I might be remembering the timing wrong, but I feel like as all of this is going on, we're seeing the scenes of Giancarlo Esposito in the arcade room. And he and all the machines, like the vending machines, are spitting stuff out randomly.
Cigarettes.
And he's
Right.
like loading
Cigarettes and coins and
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how old this is because she got the cigarette vending machine.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Oh,
then
yeah,
of course he
at
ends
the
up
same time. Yeah, he was in there. And
Yeah.
first you see him standing there and all the machines are just going crazy. And
Yeah.
then, like you said, then all of a sudden the cigarette machine starts spitting out the cigarettes and he's like, whoa, you know,
I think
and the money.
my favorite part is like he's like stuffed to the gills with swag, and he takes one of the coffee cups and puts it under his coat.
Yeah.
But then, of course, he gets electrocuted, and that's the end of that.
Yes, because he has
After
to
it
go check.
hypnoptizes him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that machine like draws them in and that's it. You know. But right at that point, it's like all these things are happening at this place, and everybody's wondering what is going on here, you know. And then the next thing is we got the couple. I think. Well, no, not the couple. The
The Bible salesman.
Bible salesman, right?
Yeah, they're not really a couple. It's a Bible salesman and a drifter he picked up.
Yeah,
Right.
he wanted something more from her, and she
Yeah.
won't go get it.
Yeah.
Oh no, I wasn't meaning them when I said couple.
Oh, they show up later. Connie and Kurt show up a little later. But
Yeah.
But yeah, he's trying to get fresh with her and everything, and then she steers him into the truck stop,
mhm.
and
Well, she
Wow.
heard on the radio, like the radio works intermittently, and she heard on the radio, stay away from the highways. Stuff's going down. And
Well-
she's like, didn't you hear that? And
I've noticed that the cars and stuff, it's very intermittent what gets possessed and what doesn't.
Right.
It's just kind of
it's very random.
well, it's more things than I think we see. They just can't show every single thing at the same time, you know.
I mean,
No, what he's saying is not everything's possessed all
yeah, I mean, like they're driving the car didn't start driving off the road.
Right.
But
Yeah.
see, their car might not have been in the area.
No, the whole
The
Earth,
world
the whole Earth was. I think
Uh-huh.
though, I don't think there really were very many cars that were possessed. It was mostly like trucks and things. I don't
they're racist. They
They
discriminate
must have been.
against cars.
They must have been.
They do destroy a lot of cars in this. And
Yeah.
the trucks do stuff. They racist towards cars. They don't like cars.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the thing is though, if that car wasn't in the area when the comet went over, then it might not.
Well, the whole Earth was. They said at the beginning very specifically that there was a diffuse field that we were sitting in for several days.
I thought it was just the area.
No.
Oh no, it was the whole. Yeah, that's why when you get later when they do that fuel up scene, there were lines of trucks going back like forever.
Right.
Yeah, it's basically it blanketed the world, sort of like how Night of the Comet did, you know. Except this one is sticking around for like 7 or 8 days.
Okay, I thought it was just the area because it was like it seemed like it was more or less focused on that area. So that's why I thought it was just the area.
They focus mostly on that truck stop, but there's other things. Like, I mean, when they show the kid in the baseball field, and then of course they show the neighborhood, how the machines have taken over. One thing that reminds me of the scene with the toy truck is how you had the toy police car that killed the dog. Oh, damn.
Yeah, that was something. Well, like basically when it comes down to it, this was Stephen King's directorial debut, and it's and also he was working apparently pretty closely with George Romero, and Romero was known for his ability to make movies on the cheap. I wouldn't surprise me if he steered King towards doing a very stripped down, localized story. And you can tell by the title credits at the beginning and the end of the film that this is not a local event, but the movie focuses on the local events. And that may have been a budget thing. It may have just been a, hey, you're a first time filmmaker, do this because it'll be a little more comfortable. It may have been any number of things, but yeah, doing an all the world destroyed thing all at once, that's more like Roland Emmerich, Michael Bay territory.
Well, we saw that there was a lot of other machines because when the kid's on this bicycle running away from the field, he sees like all these different things that as he goes through the neighborhood,
Oh, yeah.
So he sees a lot of things that went nutso. But we get to see the real big start of it. I mean, as far as we see, is when the Bible salesman and what's her name? I forgot her name. Are having that argument outside the truck stop, and he's just going off and off and off and off, and she notices the truck, the Green Goblin, and all of a sudden, this thing is, stuff's coming out the smokestacks, and the eyes are turning red, and the thing's like revving up and everything, and when it takes off, she pulls him by his tie right out of the way, and everybody else runs out of the way, and that's when we get to see, because we see that nobody's in the thing, and we see that the thing shift and everything all by itself, and take off.
Her name is Brett.
All by itself.
But that's when everybody starts to realize that there's something really going on here, because that truck took off all by itself, and nobody can explain what would make it do that, So that is like, I guess that's like the main, your main start of this whole thing, is when you've seen all these other things happening, but when that truck does that, it's just like, okay, here we go.
That's right. She's about to go down.
Oh, yeah. So then I guess we get our newlywed couple.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to stop at this one place. And when they pull up, they can see that somebody's lying there. And she's sitting there going, and she starts screaming, "Is he dead? Is he dead?" Screaming her head off.
Yeah. Ugh.
And of course, the new hubby's got to go check this out and everything.
Yeah.
And then,
I have to say, we have Brandon and I have a mutual friend. I think he'll know who I'm talking about. That this guy reminded me of her approach to horror. It's like, oh, that looks odd. I should go check it out.
What's that noise?
But yeah.
But yeah, he gets attacked by it's a like a truck type of a thing, right?
A witch?
A winch.
Oh no! A what? A what?
The newlywed dude, he gets attacked by like a truck type of a thing.
Oh
right?
yeah, like a little tow truck or something.
Something
Yeah.
like
Oh,
that.
not a little one, but that thing was already bullet all over.
It sounded like it was in pain every time it tried to turn on. Yeah.
But yep, they finally get out of there after I guess she doesn't drive, so she's screaming at him and everything. You know, I don't drive. You know, when he's trying to tell her where to go. Because the railroad crossing things are trying to come down and everything, and then they finally make it over to the truck stop, and by this time the trucks are all going crazy. They're circling the truck stop, and everybody's realizing that there is something really something's really going down out there. And I think that's about the time that the one guy that got gasoline in his eyeballs decides he wants to go look for his son, and well, that's about he gets it.
Yeah. They try really hard to stop him. They keep it like, how many fingers am I holding up? And he's like, he won't have it. He's like, no, I'm going. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, hell, he was going to die. We know that.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah,
lot
like
of people who like to throw their lives away in this film.
Yeah.
Very suicidal people in this
but
film.
I kind of agree with David. I mean, I felt bad that he got it because he already got the stupid gas in his eyeballs, and now he's on a mission to try and find his son.
Yeah.
You know? So I kind of felt bad that he got it.
Well, Brandon just mentioned something that I meant to mention this in my opening thing. One interesting thing about this movie, this came out in the 80s, and it's pretty clear that machines were everywhere. But just think if this were to go down today, it would be much bloodier, much faster, much, and it wouldn't all be the machine's fault. I think Brandon kind of came really close with that comment. I imagine that a lot of people would not wait for the machines to get them if the machines went haywire today, because people are so freaking hung up on all their stuff, their technology and such. It's like if smartphones went crazy and started just texting out nasty messages and all that stuff.
I think it's just a normal day.
Well,
Grok went insane again.
well, not everyone would. You know what I mean?
Heard about the news story about that, right? The AI is randomly taking women's pictures on X and then making nudes and distributing them. So,
yes, randomly, quote unquote. Yes.
So it's so we're almost to that point right now with the AI.
Yeah.
Well, I was just at a thing with job service today, and she's telling me that I need to adjust some things on my resume because sometimes it's basically AI is looking at the resume first.
Yep, they look for
does.
keywords.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm looking at her like, what? She's like, yeah, a lot of the companies, the AI is gonna see it first, and I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it'll
Not
replace
exactly what I
HR.
wanted to hear. But yeah, anyways, yeah, I mean, I think we would all be like in a world of hurt if our machines all went crazy like this.
I mean, and if you think about it, we are starting to see a new resurgence of this type of film. because of AI. So of course AI is back in the vogue again. I mean, I've watched at least 3 or 4 AI horror films and one slightly horror comedy, which
In a sense, that's what next week will be about.
which I almost put Jexy up just because I thought it was hilarious.
Hmm.
But
But
I mean, or her. Remember her back in the day? That's an Oscar winner.
Yeah, her was interesting.
But there was
But the
even one I remember called Afraid, which had AI like highlighted. That one really creeped me out. And again, we're so attached to technology.
That would have been an interesting callback to last year, because I didn't realize this until a couple of days ago. But that movie was directed by Chris Weitz, one of the co-directors of American Pie.
Well, the weirdest thing too is, a lot of movies that we've seen where other movies where machines have gotten taken over and stuff. The older machines, like the machines that are in this movie, are usually the ones that aren't, because they don't have any technology. Usually all these machines are the ones that are okay because they don't have the technology. So that's what's it's kind of strange that it's opposite, like in this one, because the older machines are the ones that are all coming to life, and it's like, you know there's been more than one movie out there where it's been like, well, gee, I could go take my Grand Prix out and then my Grand Prix would be fine, but I wouldn't be able to run Critter, because the Grand Prix doesn't have any technology on it, But
Well, it does, but it's a much more primitive version. It's more mechanical versus electronic. But,
right, and that's
yeah.
what it, in other movies, it's because of the electronics is why
Right.
the machine, there's all the problems with those, but you could run a 1972 Grand Prix because it doesn't have it, This one's just the opposite. My Grand Prix would be the one going off.
Well, this isn't really the opposite, because really all the electronics were screwing up. But there was one moment, and I think someone said something about they weren't sure about the internal logic in this movie. There was one moment where I thought maybe a simple machine acted up. And that was when the kid was trying to get away on his bike, and suddenly it stopped and he went right over the handlebars. And I don't know if that was, maybe you guys saw that differently, but to me it looked like the bike stopped on its own. And I'm like, well, this thing has neither electronics nor any sort of combustion aspect to it. But that was the only moment in the movie where I remember that happening to something that was neither electronic nor gas powered. Am I remembering that wrong? Did y'all see that?
Yeah, I know that, but I didn't realize. I guess at the moment I didn't realize if he screwed up and hit the brakes by accident because something scared him.
He may have. Yeah. But
because what he was seeing and what was going on, did he accidentally brake, hit the brakes like,
Right. And that was still early enough in the movie that we weren't sure what kind of rules they were setting down. So maybe that's why I thought that. I don't know. Maybe I need to see it again. But yeah, there is definitely an element of technology to the ones affected here, but it is more old school. Well, maybe for 86 it might not have been so much, but yeah.
Right, most of the vehicles that were in here were like that time period.
Yeah.
Or older.
Right. But like the video games, that's definitely 80s technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
most definitely, because pinball machines and all that, that was definitely, and like you said, the cigarette machine,
Yeah.
even like the coffee machine and stuff like that, you don't really see. Well, maybe in a hospital you might still see something like that, but
Well, you still see those.
yeah.
It's like they have one in the county office, don't they? Ah. I feel like there is. But
Anyway,
you're right, in hospitals, definitely.
Yeah.
but I guess
Uh,
we're at the point now where
so-
like the newlyweds decide that they're gonna find a way to get through the circle
Yeah.
and get to people.
See, the whole thing is kind of weird. You know what? Something I also thought was weird. Why haven't the nukes gone off?
Yeah, that's a good point. Well,
But
if this was an issue of the aliens were trying to get rid of the pests so they could move in, nuking the planet would only make sense if they actually like that kind of thing.
So here's the logic I feel is, and logic is a very loose word.
Right.
I believe that if you look at this, again, I think I said suspend disbelief at the very beginning of this discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say that's probably the best thing for it, because there's a lot of inconsistencies. Some things are affected, some things are not affected. Things that were affected in one scene may not be affected in another scene. I don't think there are consistent rules. I really don't think there's anything deeper involved than machines killing people.
Yeah.
I really do think that Stephen King was just high and was like, it'd be fun. Trucks running people over. put like a Green Goblin mask on the truck. It'll be really funny. but that's my thought when they got to this. And when you watch the first time I watched this movie, I was racking my brain trying to figure out a little bit more about what was behind this. And then I thought to myself, like, this dude made this thing. Should he wrote this when he was high?
Yeah, and I've been somewhat reading the short story while you've been speaking, and it starts out like dead ass in the middle of this movie, and there is a black a guy that's behind the counter, and that's the only person that's behind the counter. There's no white guy manager. It's just a small time. Like a small time restaurant. It's not even like this big to do thing,
And I think when you look at it, you stop trying to figure out that there's anything to this. It was like, Freud even said, sometimes a cigar is only a cigar. I'm not going to fill in the rest of what George Carlin said about that comment. But sometimes a dude just stocks military supplies in his basement. Sometimes trucks come to life, but other technology doesn't. Yet other technology does, just for the sake of it. Sometimes it's just screwy for the hell of it. And sometimes you just let yourself be dragged along. And I think
sometimes you just got to sit back and let yourself watch the movie.
Sometimes the Green Goblin mask just got to hit you dead center. But,
So, anyways,
yes.
I thought these newlyweds were really stupid to try and. I realized that they wanted to get by other people, but you see that these trucks are circling and going crazy. Why would you want to go there?
Were they circling at the time the newlyweds arrived?
They were. They
Yes.
waited for a break.
Yep.
Okay. Well, it's whatever. I don't really think of logic as a big thing.
There is a tendency to think of safety in numbers, strength in numbers.
And they hadn't destroyed the place yet, so
Yeah.
know.
In fact, if anything, eventually we came to realize that that they didn't want to destroy the place. They only destroyed the place once they got really, really, really pissed off at the people in it. But
Well, they realized they needed fuel.
yeah,
So they came to the only place that they'd kept people alive at to fuel their asses.
right.
And it just so happens that there was a kid who knew no Morse code. So, except for that kid knowing Morse code to know what they were fucking saying, they would have been shit out of luck figuring out a way to communicate, you know?
Could be.
I thought that was kind of like, okay, that's a weird thing, you know. I mean, this kid figures out that this thing is trying to do Morse code to talk to them, you know.
Well, it was pretty clear that it was doing something along those lines, but obviously most of the people in that truck stop were not exactly the coldest beers in the fridge, and they wouldn't have figured it out. But
Well, I don't know Morse code, but I would have thought, I would have figured it was trying to do something. I don't know Morse code.
I mean, I don't know Morse code, but I recognize that's what it was doing. You know, that's what I'm saying, though. I think Emilio's character, the character Brett, couple of them probably would have figured out it was Morse code. They might not have understood it. Some of the other people in there, no freaking way they would have figured it out.
No, especially Boss Man. No,
he was dead at that point, wasn't he? Wasn't it like he got killed right before the thing started communicating?
Yeah, which one was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that they did before they started communicating, they took the bulldozer and the military vehicle there. The military vehicle opened fire, killed the big boss, killed a whole bunch of people, and then it started communicating. It's like, hey, fill us up with gas.
Right. Now, am I remembering correct? And maybe I'm imagining this, but wasn't there a moment where a machine took over something where a voice actually came through?
Yeah, that was the drive-through window.
Yeah, the drive-through window. Yeah. And also there was that bank thing at the very beginning. So they would have had alternate means of communication. It would not have had to be Morse. If they figured out, wait a minute, all the dipshits here don't know Morse, they would have figured out something else. But
they would have, maybe like they could have had one of the vehicles drive over with a speak and spell or something.
Right.
No. But it's just there. But I mean, of course, we forget about the boy where he's going through the neighborhood. They have that whole thing with the baseball thing, and that thing's chucking sodas at him. And darned if it's not like it destroys that one dude by like hitting him like, and I'll admit, full soda cans are.
That's not the first time I've seen someone get killed by a soda machine in a Stephen King movie. There's a moment in Tommy Knockers where the one sheriff dude it sticks his hand in to try to get a can, and the thing explodes on him. So
yeah, I mean the kids mostly get away for the most part, but this movie definitely was not afraid of killing kids.
No,
they took a steamroller to one.
Yeah,
from what I read, and I'm kind of glad Stephen King got talked out of this. Supposedly, the blood bag exploded, and it looked like the kid's head bursting. And apparently, Stephen King loved it, but everyone else was like, "No, you can't have that in the final."
You can't kill a kid on screen. You can't kill a kid on screen. That's one of the things that you can't do.
Oh, you can do it.
Well, you couldn't do it then. There were certain things you could and couldn't do in the 80s, you know?
Can't be that graphic about it.
Yeah. But, yeah, this is what you do for kids.
You know what?
You got family content in this.
You know the scene where Deke is running from the bloody lawnmower. You know which movie I was thinking of.
Are you talking about Honey and I Shrunk the Kids?
No, I'm talking about Frankenhooker. Oh.
That was another one with lawnmowers.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
Wasn't there a movie called Lawnmower Man?
Well, yeah.
yeah.
Wasn't that one? Wasn't that based on a Stephen King, but had
Yes.
almost no relationship to the actual story?
The second one did.
Right.
The second one had nothing to nothing to.
I
That
thought
was
the first one had nothing, almost nothing.
Oh, that was another bad Stephen King movie that a lot of people loved. Mainly because I think it was Jim Carrey who was in it.
Was that Jim Carrey?
In The Lawnmower Man?
Was it?
I'm trying to remember.
That doesn't
I swear there was someone in there that
doesn't sound right. Let me see.
The Lawnmower Man.
See, I keep thinking of that trauma flick that they had, the killer lawnmower. What was it called? Blaze, I think it was.
Jeff Fahey. Pierce Brosnan was in Lawnmower Man.
Okay.
I liked Lawnmower Man, the movie.
Geoffrey Lewis.
It had nothing to do with the short story.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It was nothing like the short story whatsoever. But Lawnmower Man is a classic horror film. It really is. I do love the film. It's just nothing like the material.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good time. I don't think it's anything like the material, but and then Job's War just kind of goes even stranger.
All right. So
maybe I'm thinking of the Cable Guy with Jim.
Oh, that's Jim Carrey.
So yeah, we got all the machines going crazy. The kid knows the Morse code, so the machines are demanding to get fuel.
Mm-hmm.
By this time, Emilio Estevez's character and a few others have figured out how to get out of there without the machines knowing.
Oh.
Through that, like a sewer or something, I think it is.
There seems to be an underground that leads them to a sewer passage.
Which is how the kid got in the first place. He made his way to the rest area, to the trucker stop, and it happened that Kurt and was it Bobby or whatever, Billy, whatever, Emilio's character, they were going out to get the Bible salesman who was moaning in the ditch, but apparently that was his last gasp. Apparently this was Deke's first movie, Halter Graham. This was his first movie, and he went on to star in Fly Away Home. That was a fun movie. Yeah. And Crybaby.
Crybaby was an experience.
It was an odd movie.
Yeah. Fun movie. Actually, probably one of the more tame movies by that director.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Bill, that's the guy's name. Okay. All right. So yeah, they make their escape. Well, they make their escape when they blow up the gun cart.
Yep.
And the machines go wild. Yes.
Yeah, and that's when we see that fast food restaurant sign.
Yeah.
Start talking.
Mm-hmm. Hey, stick into the clown's mouth.
Well, and the kid decides to load up on the drive-through window, is saying, "This is for my daddy."
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and then the next thing is ice cream truck.
Yeah.
Yep. and that's when them two just kind of look at each other like, "What the fuck is this? This, you know?" But they still blow it up.
Mm-hmm.
But Amelia Estevez's character Billy, he's figured out that a sailboat doesn't have a motor. So
Well,
Yep.
yeah, that was my thought. It's like, does the sailboat have a motor?
Well,
It's
most of
schooner.
them don't. Some sailboats, from what I understand, do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you got stuck, you could turn on the motor.
You
It's
gotta be careful like that because
Yeah.
if you had a motor, they'd all be screwed.
Yeah, it definitely depends on the boat. Like, I know you've got like just straight up sailboats, but you definitely have a lot of sailboats that have motors involved. And one big enough to hold all of them, I would think would probably have a motor. But yeah. And I don't know if we mentioned, I don't remember, we got to mention that during all of this, Billy and Brett have been getting very close.
Oh
they're
yeah.
not just getting very close; they've pretty much shacked up and
Oh yeah.
boned each other in the basement.
Oh yeah.
So they kind of like created their own love nest in
Yep.
the armory of his boss's area.
Oh yeah, and I don't know. Did we mention that Hendershot was stockpiling basically
Yeah,
a
I mean, he
arsenal?
just comes out with like a bazooka and blows one of the trucks away.
Yeah.
Oh
He's
yeah.
like, he's just like any rich man. He just buys things like military ordnance.
Yes.
Where did
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get this? Well, I got it somewhere on mail order somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they find
As
the
you
whole
do.
back room full of weapons. You know.
As
I
you
like how they just explain it was like, well, men just buy things when they have money.
right. But was that Brad that played his attendant who was like his really loyal employee? Or I feel like it was.
Oh
Oh,
well, his name was Jelly.
was it Jelly?
Yeah, because Billy called him Jelly.
Well, that doesn't mean that's his name, but I could have sworn it was Brad. I don't know. It was there were a couple of people. Like I'm looking at this picture here, Leon Rippey. I feel like that's the guy I'm thinking of. He has a very distinct look. But that guy, Leon Rippey, went on to be in Eight-Legged Freaks, that paragon of high art that we covered a while back. And Deadwood, apparently. Interesting. And as far as Stephen King works, he was in Under the Dome. Yeah, never did see that all the way through. But he reminded me a lot, the guy I'm talking about, he reminded me a lot of, I think it's Chuck is the character from the Ernest movies. You know? Yeah. But not quite as intelligent, but not that Chuck was a genius, but yeah.
Chuck was the ultimate genius.
No, that was Bobby. Bobby never said anything because he was too smart.
You see, I think of Proto Chuck, the one that made Rice Erroneous.
Yes. Well, Frankie Faison was born in Newport News. I did not know that. Interesting. So yeah, one of the truckers is Frankie Faison, who's been in a lot of things over the years, but not a huge role in this movie. But anyway, so we're at the grand finale, right?
Right, and then the one guy has to get greedy because he sees that one lady dead and sees the rock on her finger
Mm-hmm.
and decides, oh, you know,
Yeah, except he doesn't realize that that big green goblin truck is waiting for him right behind him.
Mm-hmm.
He could have gotten away from that truck if you wouldn't have, if you would have paid attention to what was around him.
Paying attention to your surroundings would have helped a few of these people.
Who needs that? You
Just
wouldn't
a
have
few
that
of
much of
them.
a body count. Though I can guarantee you that the world is screwed if this is just one small indication of it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, those trucks are not quiet.
Yeah.
So
I also find it weird. It's like, is this the only gas station they took over? Because it looks like trucks for miles around are like this gas station.
Well, there's a difference between a gas station and a trucker stop. I mean, if this were to take place today, this would probably be like a Love's or a TNA or a Pilot or something like that. And
Imagine this taking place at a Buc-ee's.
or a Buc-ee's, I could see, yeah. But
the trucks aren't allowed at Buc-ee's.
Yeah, well, then it wouldn't be that thing. But you see what I'm saying? Like, there would be a few hubs that they would go to, and most.
What do you mean the trucks aren't allowed at Buc-ee's? All them gas pumps that are supposed to be at that Buc-ee's, and they don't allow big trucks? Really?
I don't know. I don't think I've been to a Buc-ee's. I've seen the signs.
Well, supposedly there's going to be one going in near us, supposedly.
Okay.
That'd be weird if they don't allow big trucks, though.
Yeah.
But yes, they get the sailboat and they start sailing off, and then the thing comes on the screen saying, yes, it's been this many days and the thing has dissipated and everything went back to normal.
Well, they say that the Russian quote unquote weather satellite happened to have a laser and took down a large object in space.
A large unidentified flying object.
Yes.
And the survivors of this gas station are still survivors.
Right. They paused there to make you wonder.
But didn't it say that the comet, the tail finally dissipated too?
Yes. That it disappeared right on schedule. Yep. Yeah. And then.
Yes, indeed.
So I guess any other scenes or anything anybody wants to talk about, or.
The only issue I have plot-wise with this, and this one's better than Trucks when it comes to this, is it can drag a little bit when you're just sitting at the truck stop with the truck circling. Now, Trucks was much worse at pacing. Trucks was very slow at the truck stop. But that's about the only thing I can say that I feel is like a big negative about this, other than it being kind of a no-brainer film. But if you take the brains out of it, it's actually a really fun film overall.
I'm not even sure I would say that's a big problem because the movie is short. It's only an hour and 40 minutes.
Like I said, Trucks was much worse when it came to pacing.
Yeah. But it's like, even if it drags a bit, it's not long enough for the drag to get, really... if this was like a 4-hour movie and the same amount of stuff happened, then yeah. Or actually,
it did actually go pretty quick. I didn't realize it was that short. It was just kind of like all of a sudden it was like, oh wow, okay, they found the sailboat. Okay. I thought it. I mean, it's been a long time since I watched it, so I actually thought it was longer than this.
Nope. It's relatively short, believe it or not.
I actually thought there's a little bit more than there was.
To it?
Right.
Okay.
So We kind of talked a little bit about production, but does anybody have anything else to say about the production?
I think for a first time feature, it's at least competently done production wise. Like I said, I feel like you can kind of tell they didn't have a big budget, but it also doesn't look cheaper than it needs to, if that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if y'all agree.
I thought for its time they did pretty good. I mean, it did look like it was in the 80s between the vehicles, the way the diner looked, or the truck stop looked, and it was set up, all the video games that was in there. So, I mean, it's not like they had, a vehicle in there that was like from the 2000s, So, the way people were dressed, the neighborhoods that we did see, everything. So I think, they did really good on that,
And then, of course, you have that goblin truck, which is a pretty iconic image for better or worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they got the right lead truck down for something for you to remember it by,
That's the first thing I always think of about this movie is that truck.
I mean, there was nearly a race trying to take over all the machines. That thing was it.
Yeah. Now, there was one scene I did want to mention. We didn't talk a lot about it, but what's the drawbridge scene?
Yeah.
And to me, that scene has got to be the scene that they spent the most money on. The way they did it, with all the cars going, everything like that, it just seemed like that's where the money was. That's the money shot, as they say.
The money shot was there, but there were a couple of the truck explosions that I think they put some money into as well.
Yeah, and I will actually both of those I will mention as negatives on the film. There were a couple needless vehicle explosions. That sometimes movies will have vehicles blow up for no logical reason, and this definitely had a couple of those, or at least one. But I think it was the truck that was chasing the married couple. I feel like that was a completely illogical explosion. But the drawbridge scene, and I don't know if y'all agree with this, if y'all got the same impression. I felt like there were some major continuity errors. The way it's put together, the way it's edited. I feel like the bridge is not. The events happening don't seem to sync up in the up close shots versus the distance shots, if that makes sense. And I don't know if y'all got the same impression, but I felt like there was some serious editing continuity errors in that scene.
I could tell there were definitely continuity errors, but I got used to that. I was so it's sort of like it's just a part of the toll of watching the film.
Yeah.
The film's not good, but that the film is fun, and that's all that matters, really, at the end of it all. And I thought that the scene at the bridge was fun to watch.
Yeah.
I do feel like Stephen King really must have wanted that scene in the film because
Probably.
you could tell how much he dwelled on that scene. And you could tell that one actually did cost some money to do because you had to secure the bridge. You had a lot of the scenes, like you had the one of the car straddling the bridge, dump the car in the river. There's a lot to it.
Yeah. And I unfortunately, the movie did also give me painful thoughts of, I don't know how much of this was done in the field with actual vehicles and how much they may have tried to use models or whatever. I assumed it was mostly on location, but I did actually read, apparently they built a set for the Dixie Boy truck stop. And apparently it was convincing enough that truckers kept trying to come use it. They finally had to put a notice in the paper that, hey, this is a movie set. Stay away. So I know there was at least some of this was done in live action, like, and it got me like, I've been having some difficulty the last several months. I still love movies, but more and more I'm having difficulty with how unfreaking believably wasteful the film industry is. And I felt watching this movie that there was so much waste that seems to have gone into it that that made me feel very sad as I was thinking about it. But yeah, that certainly falls under production as well. But
Okay. Anybody else have anything to say about production?
Oh, I thought production looked pretty darn good to me. I mean, I may not have seen the continuity scenes that you saw, but maybe when I pull out my Vestron Blu-ray and watch it again in the future, I might actually just sit there and like spend all my time just looking for those errors.
well, everyone needs a hobby.
But I'm not sure I have that much time on my hands to do all that kind of nitty gritty nitpicking. But maybe one of these days I'll pull it out again in the future and do a whole Stephen King like knockout of all of his earlier films on to some of his newer ones,
Mm-hmm.
So, but I was okay with the production overall.
Mm-hmm.
I was not on the end of thinking that this movie was a totally bad movie. No, it's not his best movie.
Well, if you're talking about him as a director, it is his best movie.
Well, yeah, it is Stephen King's best movie. But it's almost as if he did it through the lens of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
That would have been a movie.
I mean, it's a movie. I mean,
that's a perfectly legitimate possible movie scenario. There is someone who's as drugged up as Hunter Thompson was in that movie, who imagines that all the machines in the planet are coming to life and, kind of combine the two.
Yep.
But well, let's move on to a part that I'm very interested in. What did everybody think about the soundtrack?
Right.
Who made who?
Well, and obviously the Roger Miller reference is the best part. But I did like that the ice cream truck was playing King of the Road. That is cool.
Yeah, and of course I loved having the AC/DC track playing at the end with the credits.
Yeah.
I just sat there and we just both listened to it as we went. That was just kind of fun.
Yeah.
Well, there was lots of good AC/DC tracks throughout the movie. So this was one of those like Queen did Highlander. So AC/DC got this one.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just glad he got one of the best bands that's out there, Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there was some good usage of the songs. I'm not like a huge AC/DC person, but I enjoy their stuff. But I do love Hell's Bells, and I thought it was well used. And I did like there was one scene. I think it's where Billy and Kurt are getting ready to go into the sewer to try to rescue that asshole Bible salesman. And like right as they open the grate, it says, "For those about to rock, we salute you." That song gets started. And I'm like, that's a pretty
Yeah.
good heel drop. I like that. Yeah. So they had some good ones. But
This was one that definitely used the music wisely.
yeah. And actually, Stephen King is a major music aficionado, and he does do his like music lists. I think he still does them every year. He did for a long time.
He's also in his own band.
Yeah, so he has an ear for music, and I'll give him that. I think he used it well here. But yeah,
I think AC/DC was a good band to pick. A good band to pick for this.
right.
Especially when you got that one chick that kept saying, "We made you, we made you."
Yeah.
Because every time she came out screaming that, I kept thinking of the song "Who Made Who, Who Made Who."
Well, again, that was written for the film, so it's appropriate.
Right.
Supposedly, when they put this soundtrack out, though, people didn't realize it was a soundtrack. They thought it was a hits album. Because it kind of, in a way, it is. But
well, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, it works for AC/DC, that's for sure.
Right. I'm trying to remember what I read. Well, this is an interesting. According to IMDb, this movie may be responsible for Evil Dead being turned into a trilogy. Because he was a huge fan and he convinced Dino De Laurentiis, the producer of this film, to help make Evil Dead 2. So that's kind of fun. But okay, so this is what it says. So it says Stephen King is a huge fan of AC/DC, and when he met them, he asked if they would provide music for the movie. He also offered the band roles in the film, but they declined, stating they're not actors. However, the band agreed to do the soundtrack after King sang "Ain't No Fun Waiting Around to Be a Millionaire." He sang the entire song from start to finish, and the band laughingly agreed that if he was such a fan, they would do it for him. I'm like, that's pretty fun.
Definitely sounds like it.
Right. But,
alrighty.
Well, I guess we should get to favorite scenes, favorite character type of thing.
Right.
So, Jake, you want to go first?
Well, favorite scene might actually be the scene at the very beginning where the bank machine is cursing out Stephen King. I was amused by that. I was very amused by that. There's a couple other good scenes, but that might be my favorite. Brett's probably my favorite character. Bill's pretty good, but he's kind of the stereotypical hero. In fact, she calls him hero. It's like her.
In fact, she falls for him very quickly.
Yeah. Well, you see what she was working with before. I think that's probably it. I think I'll probably go with those. Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Brandon?
I guess it's the drawbridge scene. Even though I admit that scene, there are a couple of scenes that actually hit me. The drawbridge scene is definitely my favorite, but I mean, like that scene with Stephen King was hilarious. And there is a part of me that gets joy from that scene where he blows up the order machine at the fast food restaurant as well.
Right.
Okay. How about you, David?
Oh, let's see. I always enjoy the cameos of Stephen King. Definitely. This one was definitely a favorite because he basically tells himself to fuck off that he's an asshole in it. So
Right, right.
um and that pretty much sets the stage for the rest of the film. It's just goofy, you know. So um I do enjoy Giancarlo's death, even though I understand it's a stereotype. The black guy dies first. Um, well, at least you
Which,
know.
oddly enough, is not as much a stereotype as people think. Because I've watched a lot of these films over the years, and I realize it's not usually the person of color that dies first. It's
Was
usually
he first in this? I don't think he was
it wasn't
first.
even first in this. No,
No,
Yeah,
he wasn't even first in this, but as far as like
one of the first.
on-screen deaths,
Yeah, and certainly at the trucker stop, I think he was.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I enjoy the part where she calls him hero, and he's on his hands and knees with his ass in the air, and she's like uh I guess even heroes are can be asses, hey?
or,
Or, or
something to that effect. Like something about his ass in the air. I remember that.
yeah. For some reason, I thought that was kind of funny. Um, and I guess I kind of enjoy the moment where the dude actually got run over because he had taken the jewelry from the girl. For some reason, just having that demon truck show up right behind him, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Mhm.
But it's somewhat goofy and enjoyable to see him get mowed down by it. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And I think that Brett falls for dude pretty fast. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I almost wish that there could have been more development than that.
right.
You know.
On the other hand, if you've got a machine apocalypse going on, you probably don't want to waste time.
I guess not. But
You know, I
um,
forgot to mention, I wanted to mention that we've got Lisa Simpson in here, but Brett is the one at one point who says, "Eat my shorts." And I was like, that's kind of funny.
yeah.
no, it's timely. I
Eat my
feel
Okay.
old watching this film. I mean, looking at Emilio Estevez as young as he looks in this.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
This was the year after Breakfast Club or like the year.
Because yeah, you look at this, and when I think of Emilio Estevez, I think Hot Shots, and that is way later than this.
Was he in Hot Shots? That was Charlie Sheen that started
Oh,
that.
she is in Hot Shots.
Yeah.
I'm thinking sure. I'm thinking Loaded.
Repo
Well, I
Man,
think,
maybe.
I think Mighty Ducks was the same year as Hot Shots, wasn't it? Or just about?
That's the problem. I mean, he and his brother are very similar,
Right.
except personality wise.
I mean, they don't always look it, but sometimes they do.
And they can sound alike voice wise. You can definitely tell in the voice,
Yeah.
especially if you hit them at the right time in their careers. Actually, the Belushi. Well, actually, no, the Belushis don't sound or look anything alike.
Yeah.
I always thought that the one Belushi brother reminded me a little bit of Bill Murray when he was younger.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is that it for you, David?
Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I mean, there were other spots that I like, but that's pretty much it for me.
Did you guys say your favorite characters?
Favorite character would probably be. I think my favorite character would probably be Amelia Estevez's character.
Hmm.
Hero.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go to totally off the wall here because my favorite is the truck.
I had a feeling.
That's my favorite character.
Well, it is a character.
Favorite scenes? We'll see. Well, I like the beginning, like you said, and I like the drawbridge. I think my favorite scene is when the truck comes to life the first time. So,
Okay.
because it's sitting there revving and the stuff's coming out the smokestacks and the eyes are turning red and you see it shift and everything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And your favorite scenes?
That's what I just said.
Okay, so that's your favorite scene.
Hmm.
Okay. Anyone else?
Mm-hmm.
Has everyone gone?
Yeah, I think
Yep.
so.
Do believe.
Okay. Is there anything else that anyone wants to add?
I think that if you haven't seen it, and you love this movie, you should check out Trucks. I do think Trucks is entertaining in a lot of ways. The one thing that this is missing is a scene where a Tonka truck takes a person out. I mean, you know.
Oh
Well, we
man,
just might have to do that because I own trucks.
this was 1997. Was Trucks?
That was Stephen King's attempt to do things right.
Right. No, Brandon, was that the 1997 movie?
Was it? Maybe. It was later. I know it was later. By quite a bit, actually. I want to say it was almost a sci-fi movie.
Maybe.
Of course, then again, I think of all straight-to-TV sci-fi horror movies as sci-fi movies.
Well, that one does. Apparently, we've mentioned Hot Shots
Yes.
a couple of times. That has a Hot Shots connection because Brenda Bakke, who starred in Hot Shots Part 2, stars in this one.
It is the 97 film.
Okay.
Well, Stephen King was behind that one too.
Well, he was behind
they
it.
utilized Maximum Overdrive as source material.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's written by
Yeah.
Brian Taggart. Yeah. But
Yeah, he utilized the material, but he used his hired gun, Mick Garris.
Well, David, we might have to check out Trucks though, just for fun, since I do own that one.
Well, you and I both do because we picked it up around the same time.
Mine's more accessible.
Yes, it is. Many of her films are more accessible than mine. But in any case, well, hopefully you ladies and gentlemen have enjoyed our discussion on this film. Like, share, and subscribe. Let us know down in the comments what you thought of the movie. If you haven't seen it, go out and see it. See Trucks. Then come back. Tell us whether you liked our discussion and whether you liked the movie. And we'll definitely respond if we can.
And don't forget, next week we're doing Ex Machina, and Jacob's going to be giving us his rundown of this particularly artsy movie.
It'll be slightly different.
To it or not. It was a good movie, but the ending left me a little bit sour. So it'll be a good opportunity for me to go back.
I actually love the ending, so I'll be curious to see how it hits me this time.
But of course, if you get a chance to check out SeptumSin versus the World, we are doing an anime anti-climax episode of Tokyo Godfathers, which is actually a holdover Christmas film.
Mm-hmm. But
All righty.
Okay.
Everyone say good night.
Brandon, I want to ask you something when we're done.
Okay.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.
Inside movies galore, just makes you just want more. We've had all in the world of media to explore. Horror, anime, or Curious George. Our love of new things was our reward. It is the best night of our week.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.